All right, live action right now on the Senate floor as they try to break through this impasse on the longest shutdown of the federal government in modern history. So Democrats are making a list of demands to get the government reopened ahead of their potential 15th vote, which could come at any time now on this Friday afternoon. Listen to what Minority Leader Chuck Schumer proposed just moments ago.
Democrats would like to see an end to this shutdown, and we want to respect Leader Thune's desire not to negotiate on ACA until after the government reopens. Therefore, we'd like to offer a simple proposal that would reopen the government and extend the ACA premium tax credits simultaneously, and then have the opportunity to start negotiating longer-term solutions to health care costs.
Okay, so there you are. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy joins me now. He serves on the Budget and Appropriations Committee. Senator Kennedy, welcome. Always good to have you with us. What is your response to Chuck Schumer's proposal here to keep those ACA benefits going for another year, bipartisan committee to work on those, and reopen the government with the clean CR?
God, please give me patience, because if you give me strength, I'm going to need bail money. What Senator Schumer is suggesting is that we do the dumbest thing possible that won't work. Stupid should hurt more. Senator Schumer says we should just extend the status quo for a year. What does that mean? That means that we would have to take $35 billion of taxpayer money and give it directly to the health insurance companies without any commitment of lowering premiums. How is that going to reduce health care costs? How's that going to reduce premiums? The health care companies are going to take $35 billion from the taxpayers and put it into their pockets. I mean, duh. I don't know what Senator Schumer is thinking. Earth to Chuck. I mean, earth to Chuck. Am I going to vote for this? The short answer is no. The long answer is hell no. I think we're just going to have to get used to the fact that we've been in a shutdown. We're going to be in a shutdown for a while. I voted 14 times to lift the shutdown. The Democrats and Senator Rand Paul have voted 14 times to keep the government shut down. We're just going to be here for a while.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like what Senator Schumer just proposed is really any different than where Democrats have been all along. They wanted $1.5 trillion. You say $36 billion. I guess there's a lot of different numbers on this package. But to keep the Obamacare benefits were expanded during COVID. And of course, once you give something, very hard to claw it back. So that's where we are right now. And so the impact of having that extension pulled away is making people's new health care benefits rise. But as you say, it's not fixing the problem in terms of lowering costs. Is there any, I just spoke with the former Governor Sununu, and he said, what they need to do is accept Senator Thune's next proposal and agree on it and get Democrats across the board on it. What do you think that is going to look like?
He's just going to bring up the same resolution that he's brought up 14 times. Look, if we've learned anything during this shutdown, we've learned that the Obamacare Affordable Care Act exchanges, they're not working. They're not lowering health care costs. Extending the status quo will just be putting fresh paint on rotten wood.
So
Why would we want to do that?
Excuse me. President Trump has a solution, and he talked about it again today. Watch this.
I am totally in favor of terminating the filibuster, and we would be back to work within 10 minutes after that vote took place. So we'd pass if we terminated the filibuster. Voter ID, no mail-in voting, no cash bail, no men and women's sports, no welfare for illegals. You could go on and on.
He's just saying you have to embrace it. You have to go for the fact that you have the House, the Senate, and the White House, and think about the things that you could get passed if you're willing to do this. Are you willing to vote to eliminate the filibuster, Senator?
Well, President Trump has made his position, at least to me, abundantly clear. I talked to him this morning. He makes a persuasive argument, but here's in essence what he's going to say, or what he has said rather. None of us want to get rid of the filibuster, but the Democrats are going to do it as soon as they're back in charge, so we might as well do it now. My response to the president this morning, after listening politely, was, well, the quickest way, the best way to prevent all that is let's don't put the Democrats back in charge. There's no guarantee that the Democrats are going to take over the Senate in the midterm elections or even after that. The filibuster only pertains to the Senate. It doesn't pertain to the House. So to keep the Democrats from doing that, we just hold the Senate, which we're planning on doing.
Well, that's going to be a big project, obviously, for Republicans for the next 18 months. Senator Kennedy, thank you very much. Always good to hear from you, sir. We'll see where this goes on this Friday afternoon.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.